Yes, people! Welcome to episode 3 of the Introducing Me series. Now, if you are not familiar with what this series is, it is me reacting to my own posts on my Instagram. This is where we sort of go through, give you a little bit of background, and introduce me to you in real time with the content that I've shared on my Instagram. Now, we're in episode 3 here. If you haven't seen the others, go check them out. We're diving into a very interesting part of my bodybuilding journey where things do get very bodybuildery. And also, I will say it has been a minute. We're off to a very slow start on this YouTube channel. But I told you from the beginning, you are watching a novice. Figure it out as we go along. We're learning exactly what we need to do and what it takes. But as always, start this off by shouting out the Instagram page that we're going to be reacting to, rubenetti.bb. Follow along. This is where I check out my daily stories. We got reels every day. We got check-in posts. We got a bunch of funnies, a bunch of ha-has, coaching-related posts. We've got informative posts. I don't want to click on any of them because then I'm just going to get stuck yapping and watching myself. But yes, follow the Instagram. Do all the YouTube stuff, liking, commenting, and subscribing, and the other things that people ask you to do. And go check out the other 2 episodes on this series before we get into this one here. Now, we're going to scroll all the way to the bottom. You're going to have to give me a minute while this loads. Jesus. That took so long to scroll down that I don't even know what I was saying, so we're just going to start again. So in the first episode, we went through this bit here. 2017, well, technically like 2015-ish. But we went through my first years in the gym, all the way up until my gap year. And then we definitely covered the entirety of my gap year. We had the lockdown. And then let's get into here where it does get very bodybuildery, where I did, in fact, start to take things a little bit more serious. And see, I'll be honest, when it comes to filming this video, I put a lot of pressure on myself because it was such a formative time. There's so much value, there's so much content to go through that I didn't want to miss anything. I wanted to make sure that I touch every single base, but I realized that's just not possible. Things are going to get forgotten, things are going to get left out. It may be something that we have to revisit in the future. We can do a little Q&A for anything that hasn't been covered in this video, but we're going to keep it casual. We're going to keep it natural. It's just going to be me reacting and yapping. Someone's just messaged me. So unprofessional. It's just going to be me literally going through the content and reacting, touching on a couple like talking points that pop up into my head as we go through. But today's going to be my off season leading into my prep. We'll see how far we get. I don't want this video to drag on, but I also want to cover a whole bunch. My main focus for what I'm thinking is the fact that this is when I started to really take things seriously. This is when I signed up with my coach. This is when I returned to that mindset I was in 2019 where this is what I was chasing. This is what my focus was on. And I just sort of dove straight into getting the experience. I'd done all the theoretical learning and I wanted to just jump straight into the deep end. And what better way to do that than to get a coach, learn from them, and just be given a plan that you can follow and watch the gains occur. It took away the decision fatigue. It took away all there's so many avenues that you can take. There's so many techniques you can use that in bodybuilding you get this decision fatigue, and especially when you're the subject, you can't be objective about your decision. So that's why I decided it's time to outsource and we're going to nail this. I was in a very what's the word without making it seem really dramatic? Not bad, but like I was in like a weird middle ground, like a gray area, and I didn't know what to do. I was sort of in a sticky situation, especially leading into sort of this here phase. But that's why I took the leap. I thought, let me at least have control of this aspect of my life, and it paid off. So where do we start? I don't know where I left off. This is so shit of me. A really good content creator would have like a whole little script, a couple talking points. All I've got is me and a cup of coffee. And honestly, I'm so out of breath. I've had so much caffeine today. I literally had a coffee before the gym, had my got back, had my food, had a coffee, did loads of work, did a couple check-ins, and I'm sat back here with another cup of Joe. Maybe we'll get my cardiac arrest on camera. Maybe it will be documented for the future. Maybe not. I'm just very out of breath, apparently. If you hear me sighing, it's not because I'm big and fat and unfit. It's because my body's just going speedy. What am I talking about? Let's get into this. Let's start... Fuck it. Let's start here. I don't know if I could have covered this already, but we're going to start here. Check-ins from this week. This is my first ever check-in post on the Instagram, I believe. Yeah. First check-in post. Let's see where we're at. Scale weight has been creeping up the last 6 weeks from 84 kg to sitting at 87 this morning, while still holding on to decent condition. This phase is all about bringing up weak parts, mainly my arms and chest. Plan is to drive food performance and recovery up. See, credit to Max here. So obviously limbs were my problem, but we recognized chest. My back width was very much I don't have a full. Let's let this play. So we had that V taper. We wanted my chest to come up. We wanted my arms to come up. We wanted my legs to come up. Now, a couple of years down the line, we're still chasing arms. I mean, my arms will always be a thing. But my chest became a strong point towards the end of this natty gaining phase, and then my back thickness was what shit the bed a little bit come show day. But this, let me go back to that check-in post. This was my like I said, this is 6 weeks into my process with Max, which you can see he commented there, but my face comes in the way. This was when I was getting back into tracking macros. I was getting back into tracking my steps. I was getting back into logging my workouts. Not like the amount of times that when I was training in JD, I would just give up on exercises that felt shit. I would just move on from them. Or I'd go train with one of my friends and we would just do something completely different. This was when I thought, screw all that jazz, funk all that noise. I'm getting my head down and I'm doing what this bodybuilder man is telling me to do. I didn't trust my own judgment and very much trust. It's funny how I stumbled across Max, to be fair. I did a lot of consult calls, a lot of searching for coaches, people that I was familiar with, many people that I've named in the previous episodes that I spoke to that I just didn't feel like I was gelling with very well. And then I discovered Max through somebody else who he was affiliated with at the time, and literally found him, booked a call, signed up. That was it. Like it literally, I knew it was that was the one, and we jumped straight in. This is 6 weeks in, so what we did was, when I jumped on with him, I was very much a uni student. I was coming out of a phase of really going out a lot, which was one of the reasons that I wanted to nail this, because I was like, shit, I've pushed it far the other way. We need to get back on track, and we're going to stay on track. I didn't want to like half-ass this. I was going to dive straight in. If I'm getting a coach, if I'm investing my time, my money, and my effort, we're going to do this properly. And obviously I had the dream of competing, which is what I spoke to him about on the console call. I was like, I want to compete. I don't know how to go about that. I used to actually have a dream of coaching myself into my first show. And I wanted to use it as like a learning experience. But then I thought, you can only learn so much from experience that Max just sort of gave to me on a day-to-day basis, which it would have taken months, it would have taken pain and a lot of struggle, but Max just passed that down to me, which was a perfect setup. Fuck coaching yourself, mate. Anyone who does that, you're a freak. The best way to have it is to have your own knowledge, do your own research, collaborate with your coach on a plan. But here's what we're set up 6 weeks in. We started off with a little tidy up. Like I said, I was in very bad shape when he found me. Not that I was like fat or anything. I just didn't have a lot of muscle on me. The shape was there. It was almost like I had some muscle maturity from like years of training, but it was just flat. It was a bit dead. So here are my macros: 200 protein, 450 carb, 50 fat. That 50 fat was a big shocker to me. I remember that, getting back on track. Because obviously high carb, low fat diet is very bodybuildery. Uni diet is probably the opposite of that. 450 grams of fat, 50 carb. Nah, probably, that's exaggerating. It's just a bunch of fucking fat. So cutting down to 50 fat, I remember that was a shock to the system. Let's get back to this little posing footage. I remember I filmed this. Let's see. You know what's funny? That caption's a lie. I remember posting this. Quick shape check after a push day. Pump or after 20 minutes of cardio. Didn't do cardio that day. I remember that for a fact. It was pissing down rain, and I just wanted to get home. This was when I think I mentioned it in the last episode, that I started training in Peak Physique. There's like an old school bodybuilder gym in Cardiff. Anyone who followed me since then, you would have seen some of the insight. We'll see it in a minute. But shout out to anyone who trained there. Charlie, if you're watching this by some chance, what's up? You look big as shit. Yeah, that gym was very far away from where I lived. I'd recently moved into a new uni house when I signed up with Max. So I was in a different spot in Cardiff, but I wanted to go to Peak Physique because I wanted to be around bodybuilders. I didn't want to do this commercial bullshit, like the commercial gym hassle of there's my nan on the treadmill, there's 16-year-olds training in a group of like 5, there's a power lifter here, Olympic lifter there, and this guy's just blasting 3 grams a test every week. I wanted to just be around bodybuilders. So I went out of my way to get buses. I would walk an hour to the gym and an hour back while doing all my uni shit, while doing all my meal prep. Like, it was a pain in my hiney. And in the prep episode, you'll come to see that I've never had it like super easy up until the times where I'm in Dubai. Like when I was in the UK, because I can't drive, I have to take buses. The weather's wank. The Cardiff torrential rain. I can guarantee you 100% for a fact this whole outfit during this session, pissing rain. Like, these straps are probably wet. I know for a fact that bag wasn't waterproof. I lost a whole bunch of pre-workout tubs to that, walking in the rain. The amount of times I walked with a raincoat and then this bag under it, so it looked like my spine was pregnant. Mate, I'm getting PTSD and I'm getting annoyed because I would walk to the gym for like literally 55 minutes from my house. I'd chuck in a podcast. This was when I did like loads of nerdy podcast bullshit. Podcast in the ears, start walking. All my friends are back home, bunning up, having drinks, going out. And I was like, yeah, let's just... I didn't even think about it at the time. I didn't think about it. But then occasionally, if my timing's aligned with the buses, I try to get the bus. But now I'm sat there with a crackhead, a kid playing music, ripping a vape in the back row, some like family of 6 sitting in the disabled area. It was just not fun. Yeah, it wasn't ideal, but we got it done. And if you do shit at a hard level, it gets a lot easier when things start smoothing out. But here, looking a little bit lean. I don't want to go post by post because that's going to take ages. These check-in shots start to heat up pretty quickly. 3/10, 3rd of the 10th. Oh, these are like, okay, so these were literally like weekly for a bit. Fucking hell, what happened here? What happened between these two? Oh, I got a ring light. Well, I had a, yeah, that was a ring light. Fairs. Checking shots, a couple different poses. These were always taken so early in the morning. Look at this poor guy. He is fatigued. These are like first thing in the morning, before uni, before anything. I had my girlfriend at the time sleeping in the bed, wondering what the fuck's this bloke doing. Yeah, not ideal. What does this say? Another productive week ticked off. Training is still quickly moving in the right direction. New way in 200, 480, 50. Just a little food bump since the last one. So this gaining phase was managed very well from Max's side, to be fair. The rate of gain was like, if we, I don't know if his check-in sheets from the time have like it all graphed out. If there was God, this caffeine's frying my brain. I'm gonna take a sip while we're at it. If there was like graphs of my body weight, my strength ratings, just everything, just linear progress the entire way through this gaining phase, and we set the date for when I was going to start prep. I want to say like 10 months before. Let's do the math here. I signed up with him in August, September-ish. Let's say September, October, November, December, January, February, March. 8 months. 9 months, let's say. We set a date for when prep was going to start, and we hit the nail on the head. He told me, I remember in the consultation, or it might have been a call like a little bit after that when we set up, he told me, he was like, we're going to push you to 95 or 100 kgs in this off season. And I remember going, this guy's lost his fucking mind. Because I weighed 84, I think. 83 maybe. 84 when I signed up with him. And this kid's telling me I'm going to gain 16 kg. And I was like, pfft. I remember looking at my missus going, he's chatting absolute piss. But yeah, we did exactly that. We gained, I think the heaviest weigh-in I had this off-season, somewhere around here, would have been like 90... Is there scale weight here? No, this is prep's already started. It must be just... I never saw 100 in the morning. I was walking around at 100, but I never saw 100 first thing in the AM. But yeah, he set that timeline up so well. But here I was just sort of getting used to how to manage things, and I was really being very, very productive, because I'm a very all in, all out kind of person. You can tell by the fact that, like, here I was 100% in. It was everything. It was my whole life. Lockdown happened, shit the bed, and then it was like I was just dragging it around. I was training as hard as I possibly could, but everything else was just fucking wherever it lands. Then straight back into 100%. It was to the point where people were like, "What are you doing?" Like, what? Especially other uni students. They're like, "What is this bloke on? He's tracking his steps and how much water he's drinking." Which, to be fair, it is. I'm in the minority. It's a bit weird. I keep looking at myself. I'm so shit at this content creation thing. There's the camera. I'm gonna stare at you. No, I'm not. That's uncomfortable. Let's find some more check-in shots and see if we have something to discuss other than me just yapping. Here's another little posing footage. Another little posing footage. Does that even make sense? Little side chest, naughty. I can tell by the times. Ooh, there's a little bit lean. How should I weigh here? That's an awful back double. Never hit that like that ever again. Mid pose starts walking away. Yeah, that posing needed some work. Yeah, that's dread. Pushing my hips forward in a lat spread, that's crazy. I need to see that. I need to see that back double again. This is in the peak physique changing rooms in the bodybuilding gym, like I said. Yeah, that's a little bit lean, for the bodyweight as well. Not too bad, like. Oh, that was awful. That is dread. And he just starts walking away mid-pose. Here we go. Yeah, not a good pose here, but where are those? I haven't seen those boxers in a minute and a half. All you can do after a messy weekend of untracked foods and drinks is get back on track and tick boxes. People go too far the opposite way, restricting their diet, increasing their to fix them with a bajaba cheeshash. Yeah, so this was clearly after a night out. What month? October 25th. I could tell you it was a Halloween event. Halloween must have landed on a weird day. Would have been a Halloween event because at this time I wasn't going out unless it was big time. Unless it was one of my close mates' birthdays and we had something proper planned, not just, oh, we're going to go to the pub and have a drink. Tell me what we're doing and I will account for that. But yeah, this is some check-ins. That's not good. That shot came up a whole bunch this off-season. There's a little transformation. This must have been lockdown times. 7 months. Not bad, not bad. Yeah, Max did a very good job of... if we were in a shit position, we got lean, started putting tissue on, stayed lean for a very, very long time. And just because of my fat distribution, as soon as I start gaining fat, it's visible, and then it's not visible for ages, and then it's visible again. Like, it all lands on my abs and my face. And then it just spreads. Like, I'll have glute lines while my face looks... Is my face a bit fat right now? No. But when I have a fat face, I'll still have shredded glute. Like, my fat distribution sucks, dude. But yeah, we kept it tidy this off-season. We never got... Like, as much as I felt like I was fat, I was just a big blocky boy. Here's me back in Dubai. So this is when things took a turn. I was now back in Dubai, I would say against my will. It was a visa situation. Me hitting a vacuum. That's not like me. And a Ziz pose. That one was for Max. I hope he enjoyed that one. Yeah, me hitting a vacuum is not a common occurrence because man's got scoliosis, bruv. My rib cage is offset. I've got like a hanging rib. So it doesn't look very good at all. This angle's not too bad. Certain shots I can, but I didn't think I would post it. But yeah, this was me back in Dubai after Christmas, obviously untracked, whatever. 2018 to 2022. Let's see. I've still got that vest. Should I put it on? Oh, it's the same shots. I've already seen them. Some more check-in shots. What are we looking at here? pushing for that 93 kg mark and still have space to add more. God, yes, we do. 690 carbs, 60 fat, 200 protein. God, I would hit a toddler to have those macros right now. I don't think I'm far off. 690 carb, what am I on? You'd think I would know this, but I literally just eat the same. Like, I track it once and I just chuck it in. Yeah, we're on 650 and 50 fat. That 10 gram of fat would go a mile. You can see Max's comment here, can you? It says, that 100 kg mark ain't far away now, kiddo. Can I move this? There he is. He called it. And I remember I was giving him some pushback, like, mate, we're not going to do this. Like, I can't weigh 100. Because it was just more than I thought was possible. Let's give this physique a little analysis. Max hates when I hit a front double like this. But yeah. Why? I was about to say, why am I so hairless? But that's what I was like. Up until the anabolics went in, I looked shaved year round. Not only did I not have a beard, but no leg hair, no chest hair, no arm hair, no knee hair, nothing. My friends now, I need to stop covering my face, man. I need to sit like this. My friends now, when they see my hands in my videos or like my legs or something, they're like, yeah, you grew hair. You're not a toddler anymore. Yeah, cheers, boys. What's this? Still growing. What was that? Does leg extensions. What is going on here? That set of leg extensions was in a different gym. And then here's me posing in Benus. This is when I switched over to Benus. It must have been prep was starting. Was it? February. Prep was about to start. Right before prep started, I switched back to Benus after training in a gym called Train SF for a little while. I don't think there's any footage of it. No. Let's watch this. Trust the process. Good rep. Mouth guard's also such a good shout. Did that set just end? What, did I think that was a grinder? There was definitely another rep there, at least. Yeah, standards for training intensity change over time. That vest fits me very differently now, let me tell you. What's up next? Also, what is going on with my hair here? Oh, God. You'd think with the amount of caffeine in my system, I wouldn't be sleepy tired right now, but we very much are. What's going on with my hair there? I've got a cowlick on the back. That's dreadful. What else we got here? Here we go. A little chunky boy. 20 to 23. Yeah, I thought that was insane. I thought, I'm jacked. I look like Rich Piana. I didn't. I looked fat. Here, Train SF. This is a very, very nice establishment. Not a lot of kit, but the kit that they do have is good. It's right across the street from Benus. I have been tempted to return here. Benus is a bit busy. This is the most awkward shot ever. I'm tucked under this lateral raise machine. The reason I like Trainer Stuff is because they just have the Atlantis line, and the Atlantis line fits me very well. Can you see the leg press? This squat press, so tasty, for me at least, for my angles. They've got Atlantis pendulum there, hammer strength leg press, pendulum press. Why am I just advertising Train SF right now? Let's move on. So like I said, back in Benus, started training in preparation for prep. You know. Oh no, this prep had already started here. June. Whoa, we skipped some here. We skipped something. Here's big chunk. I remember taking this photo and thinking, I'm fat. How much did I... This was probably May? March? April? March. I was looking at that and I saw JT and I was like, oh my man. That's crazy that he has followed me since then. What a guy. March 28th. This was the shape of it. This was when I thought... This is when I started complaining to Max that I feel fat. I don't feel good. I felt great. I was performing in the gym exceptionally. Sleeping like a dream. Food was going down like a dream as always. But I just didn't like the way I looked. That's why you can see no more check-in photos. No more, not many frequent posts. And I was sort of going for these ones here. This must have been when prep was initiated. It's time. 18 weeks out. Now, these we're a few weeks into prep. I know that for a fact. Because the check-in photos I took, the last set of off-season check-in photos I took, I was so insecure about them. I was not posting them anywhere. I might even have deleted them after I sent them to Max. I don't think I have them. But yeah, this is a couple weeks into prep. We'd already started to drop a little bit of shit. This is a nice little bit here. My gaining phase has come to an end, and our new goal is titled "Get Inside Out Shredded." Took a week off to deload and start this phase as fresh as possible. Yeah, so those last off-season check-in photos would have been pre-deload, pre all of that. These were probably like 2 weeks after that deload. Plan of action: 20 minutes of cardio daily. Even towards the end of prep, that went up to 30. Training split stayed the same the whole way through. 10,000 steps went to 12, went to 14, and then ended on 16. Food, 200 protein, 65 fat, 670 carb. Now, I believe we only went down to, I want to say 300 and something, at least 350 carb on training days. That was the lowest we went, with 16,000 steps, 30 minutes of cardio. I mean, you feel like shit on prep, but I didn't feel too bad, especially because if I don't want to get especially because some of the other boys that were competing that I'd become familiar with, that I got to know, they were on some shocking macros just because of how their body responds, not because of their coaches or their process. I'm not saying that. I'm saying their body just wasn't responding. My body was to throw food in and it just burnt it up. Here's my first little, everybody want to be a bodybuilder, don't nobody want to measure and manage a dozen variables every single day. I think I posted this exact thing like a couple months ago, no? What were we managing here? Food, training, steps, cardio, weight. Weight? What was that? Body weight? Surely that's just, okay. Hydration, supplement, sleep. That's one thing I want to touch on. In this whole phase, training was immaculate. I was learning as much as I could from Max, pinging training footage over, watching other people train, because that's your stimulus. I was trying to learn as much as I could to just get my training nailed. Diet was easy enough. Max sends me the macros, I'll hit them as close as I possibly can, and if I go off track, I'll let you know. But I think it was hardly the case. Everything else was managed very well. Steps was a bit iffy around this time when I was in uni. Partially because of the Welsh weather. Partially because it'd be like, oh, I'm going to go do steps. And my friends would be like, do you want to fucking come play this Xbox game? Of course I did. If dozens of your friends are sat in a room playing a game, you're not going to go for a walk. Like, that's dead. But then in Dubai, obviously, steps started to get absolutely nailed. I don't think I missed them around this time. But this whole time, up until around here, like a little bit deeper into prep, sleep was awful. My sleep schedule was dreadful. I think I said something about this on my story not long ago. This was the times where I would go to sleep at between 3 a.m. and 6 a.m. Because I couldn't go to sleep. Like, I had to be so exhausted that my body would just conk out. I didn't have the ability to be like, bedtime, and go to sleep. I had to wait until my body gave up on staying awake. Oh, I'm getting a cramp. Oh. Cramp in the jaw. If you know, you know. What else is there in this phase? Let's watch this leg press set. This is well into prep, no? Yeah, this is in June. Training was flying today. 6 plates per side for 11. 2 reps up from last week. Yeah, so when prep started, or when the off-season, like, the off-season was very novel to me, in the sense of we're in a gaining phase and we're tracking every single variable, and like new variables, I mean, that I hadn't accounted for previously that Max taught me about. So I was learning everything about the off-season. I didn't really know what to expect, especially when he said things like you're going to weigh 100 kgs, and certain lifting goals that he set for me. I was like, what is that? Like, that's obviously not going to happen. And all of them did. I mean, he's a very smart he's very smart at predicting things. which is why I've learned to just listen to what he says, because he calls his shot and he hits it. But when prep started, I was like, okay, so I'm going into a deficit. I don't know what's going to happen with my training performance, my energy levels, my appetite. It's all going to be very up in the air, especially when we start to get peeled. Like around this part, no, that's the last show. Around this part, you start feeling sensations and things that your body, like reactions from your body that are very novel. And I didn't know what to expect as soon as it started, but for a long time into prep, I was still getting stronger and stronger and stronger. Mostly because the cardio increase, my body started to become a bit more efficient, and I guess just the mentality of knowing that you have this show day makes you push that little bit further. But this was a big shock to me. I'd always message Max and be like, I got stronger. Can you watch this set and tell me if I fucked it? Because I feel like I shouldn't be getting stronger. Especially on things like dumbbell press, leg press, split squats. God, we had split squats in all year. I wish I posted more. I wish there was more things that we could go through, because there was so much that happened in this time. Let me try to think back. Around here, here's some training footage. This was after I was sick, I know that. These, like I said, everything was sort of new to me. I remember I got sick here, and that rebuild felt like weeks of just trying to get back to normal. What else can we touch on? I don't want to start to creep into the prep side, the prep-isode 1, because I'd rather have that as its own standalone thing before we go into the post show, which, God alive, that's going to be a treacherous episode to figure out. Let's have a look-see. Prep here. Let's do a quick wrap-up. So, when I signed up with Max, my goal was essentially, let's bounce the other way. I'd got really sucked into the uni lifestyle, and I saw this goal, my bodybuilding goals that I've had since I was however old, starting to like fade away. Like I was losing touch with them. They were just getting further and further away, and I didn't want to lose that part of me. So I thought, it's now go time. Let's dive in. Let's get this under control, and let's start taking steps towards my goals. And I guess it was also, I wanted to see how much I enjoyed it. At any point, if any weeks that I was checking in with Max, if I didn't enjoy it, I would have just stopped. But I was absolutely loving it, despite the buses, the hours of walking in the pissing rain, the training alone, the missing out on social events and sacrificing this and that. Wouldn't trade it for the world. It was an absolutely incredible experience. I learned a lot about myself, about bodybuilding, and it's the reason that I'm here today. I don't want to creep too much into the prep, like I said, so let's just focus on this bit here. Back in Dubai, this was pre-prep, end of the off-season, finished it off in Dubai. There was some what's the word? Extraneous circumstances as to why I stayed in Dubai after I came back. I came back for Christmas, and then a bunch of banana sandwich happened, which was not important. It's not actually that eventful. It's just but yeah, ended up staying in Dubai, which, if anything, just increased my adherence. It sort of separated me from all the things that were making me not do my steps. No nights out, because obviously all of my friends are in the UK, and there's just not much that I would enjoy doing out here in Dubai. My girlfriend at the time was still in the UK, so I didn't really have to do anything social. Kind of like my life right now. But yeah, that was, it sort of made me focus on bodybuilding a little bit, which I appreciate. And then prep started, and we headed back to the UK temporarily. But I think that's enough for the natty off-season episode. I don't have a pun as good as the prep episode one, which is next up. But yeah, like I said, go watch the first episodes, which is where we went from fat to less fat to becoming a power builder, to becoming closer to like focusing on natural bodybuilding. Getting a hernia, recovering from said hernia, going to university, lockdown happening, self-medicating my glaucoma for a year or two there, back in Dubai, and then when I returned, when lockdown was out of the picture, I was able to get my head down, get myself a bodybuilding coach, because I started to understand there's so much, there's a lot of value to be had there, that you have to just learn from other people. Pushed through my natty off-season, living the bodybuilder lifestyle, back in Dubai, then reinitiated my very first bodybuilding prep, a natural prep, which we will go through in the next episode. Here's a little sneak peek. Don't look away. And then we've obviously got the post-show, we've got the start of the enhanced journey. God, I'm tempted to touch on some of those things, but I'm not going to. And then the goal for this series is we're going to react to all of these posts until we catch up to the current day. You can see how my timeline changes over the years. But yeah, we're going to go until we hit the current day, and I can start to talk about what we're doing at the moment, what we've been doing, what we're going to be doing, what the future holds. So stay tuned. There's a whole bunch more to come out of this series. Follow me on the Instagram, rubenetti.bb. Subscribe on this channel with likes and comments and subscriptions. What else is there? Share for you can. It's free. But yeah, check this out. This is where I put all my bodybuilding content. This is where I put all my coaching content. This is where I post reels that I think are hilarious or informative, or I just have a bit of fun with it. We're just messing around a bit, just a couple of jokey ha-has and having a bit of fun with everyone. So go check that out. Check out the Instagram. Subscribe on here. Stay tuned for the next episode, the prep episode. Like I said, I'm going to finish off this coffee. Possibly go into cardiac arrest. But if I don't, you'll see this video posted, and then hopefully not long after the next episode. And I do want to say I really appreciate everyone who sends me their screenshots or their story posts of them watching the videos where they're doing their cardio or their steps on a treadmill at home, or they're just being a lazy prick lying in bed. I do appreciate all of that. Everyone who's subscribed, everyone who DMs me that they've watched it, everyone who DMs me that they've enjoyed it, everyone who likes the posts, comments on my Instagram, interacts with any of my socials in any way. I really do appreciate it. So do all of the YouTube stuff. Oh God, that was rude. That's disgusting. But do all the interaction things. Stay tuned for the next episode. There's going to be a whole bunch coming out. Bodybuilding content, non-bodybuilding content, training, coaching, informative, Q&A. Comment down below and send me DMs of what it is that you want to see from this channel, what you want to see from me, what you want to know about me, what you want to learn, what you don't want to learn. Yeah, that'll make sense. But for now, that's all from me. I'm going to get out of here. Peace!